everyone in this room knows, the Gold Award is the highest award a girl can earn in Girl Scouting. Taking their Gold Award experience with them, the young women here this evening will become the strong, confident leaders of tomorrow. As many of Gold Award recipients can tell you, reaching this achievement is a journey, sometimes a long and arduous one. It takes dedication, planning, and plenty of hard work. For the young women who set out to achieve their Gold Award during COVID, they encountered never-before-experienced challenges. But these driven young women took the lessons that they have learned from you, their families, and their Girl Scout experiences and found ways to pivot to reach their goals. We at Girl Scouts of Suffolk County are so impressed by all of you. We're here tonight because each of these young women have successfully completed their journeys, and in doing so, they have touched many lives. They've inspired family, friends, other Girl Scouts, and all of us. The projects they have developed each serve a need in the community. In taking on these projects, our Gold Award Girl Scouts have made a difference in the lives of those beyond the circle of family and friends. They have reached out and changed lives in the larger community in which we live. As Girl Scouts, one of the things we promise is to make the world a better place. There is no greater fulfillment of that promise than in the efforts of our Gold Award Girl Scouts.
As we look around the room tonight, we see the faces of young women who have distinguished themselves with their efforts. We also see the pride-filled faces of their families and those who helped them along the way. We owe our deepest gratitude to all of you who offered assistance. For nearly 55 years, volunteers and leaders from Girl Scouts of Suffolk County, like those who are here tonight, have been guiding girls to achieve the ultimate achievement in Girl Scouts. I'd like to take a moment to recognize any Girl Scout volunteers who are here this evening. Nice turnout, thank you. It's your hard work and dedication that allowed these girls to be here tonight and earn this award. I want to step on something that Phyllis said before. You girls worked hard during the pandemic and you did something you didn't have to do. You don't have to earn your Gold Award, but you all chose to, and you chose to stick with it. And what the outcome was is just astonishing. I encourage all of you to please go online to our website, go onto the social media pages of Instagram and Facebook, and you'll get a taste of what some of these projects are, because they're truly extraordinary, and they make all of us so very proud to be Girl Scouts and to be Girl Scouts here in Suffolk County. So on behalf of the Board of Directors and the staff, the volunteers, and all of your fellow Girl Scouts, congratulations and thank you for being true to the mission.
So I would like to introduce Dr. Amy Loeb. Since February 1st, 2021, Dr. Amy E. Loeb has served as the Executive Director of Northwell Health's Peconic Bay Medical Center, where she is responsible for overseeing the daily operations of the 200-bed nonprofit medical center. Dr. Loeb is a prestigious and well-respected leader in hospital administration within the Long Island region. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce Dr. Amy Loeb.
Good evening. Thank you so much for the opportunity and the privilege to have a conversation with you this evening. You are the future. And that's a very, very powerful thing, you know, because the future is moldable. It can be shaped like clay. And you have the power to make that beautiful thing that you decide you want to make. You being here means that you have the stuff. You have the ingredients to be whoever you want to be. I can only imagine what greatness will come out of this room, and I feel super inspired and happy and absolutely privileged to be here. So thank you again for having me. So I was not exactly sure what you might want to hear from me this evening. So I thought we have a beautiful future ahead with the leaders in this room. That's what you're being recognized for, your leadership. And so I thought I'd share some of the ingredients that I have found important in my life, my home life, my professional life, my personal life. Some of the ingredients that I have found important. And so there's 5 that I'll highlight. 1, a sense of purpose. 2, to never stop learning and doing. 3, to share your wisdom and enthusiasm with others. To be proactive and adaptive, and to own your power. So first, with a sense of purpose. Working hard is so much easier when you are connecting with your sense of purpose and you are driven by a sense of purpose. You've probably heard this before. Find something that you love to do and you'll never work a day in your life. This love of what you do is connected to your purpose, your values, who you are as a good human. 2, never stop learning and doing. Don't allow yourself to get bored. Boredom is bad. It represents dissatisfaction, being tired, and you're not excited. Be excited about whatever it is that you're doing. You'll hear from many nurses talk about why they got into nursing. And many will say, oh, my mother was a nurse, my aunt was a nurse, I wanted to help people. For me, I knew I'd never get bored. It's really, really important to know that I could take my career in a million different directions. But my informal education, that will never end. Because I choose to surround myself with people who are very smart, often much smarter than I am, and many who think differently than I do. They challenge me. If you embrace that, you will learn. Sometimes you learn what to do, sometimes you learn what not to do, but always learn from those around you. Never stop learning and doing. Don't allow yourself to get bored. 3, share your wisdom and enthusiasm. We all have the opportunity to lift others, and we should. That's what leaders do. Leaders empower people with wisdom and enthusiasm. It's a responsibility that comes with success, and frankly, it is the greatest gift, in my opinion. As a mother, which I think we can agree is another word for leader, there is nothing that makes me more proud than watching my boys act confidently as they're doing the right thing. As a leader in healthcare, I've been able to share so much with others, lift others, patients, nurses, countless individuals in the community, in the hospital, and you all have the power to lift others. It's a privilege. As a woman who likes to explore and often in the wilderness, it makes me so happy to empower women with the confidence to get out there. Watching a friend or a colleague take a leap in spite of fear or in spite of lack of confidence, it's a gift for both of us. So recently I decided that I was going to attempt the Ironman triathlon. How hard could it be, right? 2.4 miles swim, followed by a 112-mile bike ride, which gets you ready for the 26-plus mile marathon. Okay. So I tried my first triathlon just recently. The swim was an epic fail. I got into open water for the first time, and I doggy paddled for 0.6 miles. That's what I did. I had no one there to support me, and it was terrible. So I tried it again just last weekend. Only this time, I had a girlfriend with me, and she stayed with me the entire time during the swim. Be that girlfriend, be that colleague who helps along somebody so that they don't quit. Be proactive and adaptive. Proactive. Things change constantly and way faster now than ever. Technology and the pace of change is really unprecedented. If you're able to anticipate the impact and prepare for it, you will be better for it. But you have to think about it because these changes are coming, ready or not. Being adaptive. Life happens. Bad stuff, good stuff. Flat tire, dog is sick, someone you love passes away. Things have happened in my life, some traumatic things, especially in my younger years, which, by the way, I'm currently defining as my teens and 20s, but I reserve the right to change that at any point. These things brought me to my knees in some cases, literally. They also helped shape me. People who I love passing away too young, or people that I love having addiction issues, being the latchkey kid responsible for a younger brother. It made me the Amy of today. I adapted who I was and became a stronger version of myself. Life happens. Be ready when you can, be proactive when you can, but if you can't be ready, be willing to adapt and know that a stronger version of you can and will emerge. And last, own your power. So my colleague, Dr. McKenna, and I were talking about this earlier and whether or not I was going to do this, so I'm going to do it. Nurses Week, my first year at Peconic Bay, when I was very focused on quality and empowering nurses to deliver the best care that they could, I asked them all to stand up and do the power pose. So can I ask the young ladies in the room to stand and do the power pose with me? It feels really good. You have all the power that you need to be a great human, and you get to define what greatness means to you. Part of owning your power is taking care of you. Your health and being proactive is so important. This is your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health. Living with a sense of purpose, avoiding boredom by learning and doing, sharing your wisdom and watching others grow, and being proactive with your health are so important to keeping the powerhouse going that is you. I will tell you that 12 years ago, standing before this large group of people and speaking was literally impossible for me because my heart rate would be so high that you would see it coming out of my chest like this. You would see my neck red and my throat close, and I wouldn't be able to find the words. But I forced myself because I knew I wanted to be a leader. I knew that I had to do this, forced myself to do it. So I will leave you with one quote. Do one thing every day that scares you. That's Eleanor Roosevelt. One little thing, doesn't have to be big, but that one little thing will just help you grow. Reach out and shake the hand of a stranger that you haven't met before. Wrap your arms around a colleague. Help your friends swim. Do one thing every day. I want to thank you so much for the gift of sharing with you a bit about me and the ingredients that I find important. And congratulations to our Gold World Award Girl Scouts. Thank you.
We're so very pleased to recognize the remarkable accomplishments of the very talented and dedicated young women of the Gold Award class of 2022.
2598.
What was your Gold Award project?
I marked the trails of the county park and made a digital map of it and put a QR code at each entrance to access the map. My award had two parts. The first part, I hosted a book drive through book fairs at my school, and then the second part, I created a scavenger hunt for students kindergarten to 5th grade with local businesses where I was able to put up a QR code that linked fiction and nonfiction books, and then the kids could earn prizes and learn more about their community, diversity, read, and go to local businesses.
So how did you feel through this whole process? Like, what was the biggest challenge or the number one thing you learned?
I think just getting it approved at the start was a difficult thing because it was like the start of COVID, and first I had to go to the county and then Girl Scouts, and it was just a lot of paperwork and a lot of steps to follow. And then once we got it, it was hit the ground running, and mine went pretty smoothly. The actual labor of the project was done in August with all the bugs and the heat, so that was also a little bit of a challenge, but definitely worth it. For me, probably just getting some of the stores on board and really promoting the project because it was the summer. It was a little bit hard to promote it. The library had posters up and everything like that, but I really had to put myself out there with my past principals and teachers to promote this scavenger hunt in the summer, which was kind of a good time.
And so what would you tell younger girls about the process or just to inspire them?
I really think it looks very intimidating, but if you just take it step by step, it's very achievable. We both did it, and it's definitely worth it by the end. You get to really feel that you accomplished something and helped your community all by yourself. Yeah, definitely. I would say it was super rewarding. I got a lot of positive feedback saying that some kids who didn't have a lot to do because of COVID were able to, have something fun and engaging to do, and that was really rewarding to just hear your community feedback. And I think it really paid off despite all the challenges and hard work.
That's great. So how do you feel to have earned this award?
Feels great. Yes, yeah? I'm really excited. Very excited, very proud of myself and my fellow Girl Scouts. Yep.
Awesome. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
What did you do for your goal? So I installed a recycling system inside my local elementary school, and then I also created a website to teach my community about recycling and endangerment of stingrays.
Got it. So what was your inspiration for this?
So I really love the environment, and I feel like it doesn't get enough attention. So I definitely wanted to kind of teach more about it and kind of put more attention to it in the community.
Right. So would you say, that's the way you did your website to kind of make it more
definitely.
modernized?
Like even for kids, and it was also for parents in the community. Like everyone was outreaching for as many people as possible.
Right. So what would be some advice that you would give to a girl that's, doing it, wants to do it? What are some hardships that you face?
I'd say definitely time management. It's hard to do it when you don't have a set deadline.
Right.
So just kind of keep a good pace and set tasks so that you know what you should be doing at a given time.
Right.
That was definitely a struggle. But if you do it it works out.
Right. Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
I'm Heather Mendez. I just earned my gold award, and I've gotten my bronze, silver, and now my gold.
Awesome. So what was your Gold Award project?
My gold award was an activity backpack for the people who come to Camp Edie. So I made hand games, song games, and board games, and an ASL backpack.
Definitely. So what's the biggest challenge or the number one thing you learned through this?
The number one thing I learned was definitely time management and how to speak to adults and other people that I'm not really used to. I also had to learn independence because for the gold, you have to do everything yourself and you can't have really your parents or friends helping you. So that was definitely, but also the challenges that came along with COVID, I definitely had to change things and move along as time went and COVID happened.
Definitely. And what would you tell younger girls about the process or any pieces of advice?
I would definitely tell them that stick through it because in the end it's worth it. Even though you may not get the recognition that you always want, you're going to look back and love it and think that you have inspired generations to come.
Awesome. And how does it feel to have earned this amazing award?
It feels really good. Feels like all my hard work for 13 years and all my accomplishments are finally coming together.
Yeah. And any last words or advice, anything like that?
I'd just say, even when the hard times are coming, just keep on pushing through it because in the long run, it's definitely worth it.
Thank you so much and congratulations.
What's your name?
My name is Brianna.
Okay, and what was your Gold Award?
I rebuilt 3 food donation bins at my local church and their parish outreach because the other ones started to break down the garbage bins. So I
Right.
refurbished them. I made handles on them, made them bigger, easier for them to move around and unload.
Right. That's very nice.
Thank
So,
you.
would you say that your inspiration was that they were really, really, worn out?
Yeah, they were really worn out, and I go to that church a lot, so I saw how bad they were, and I mistaken them as garbage bins one time.
Right.
So I thought it was a nice project.
Right. So, what would you say, are some advice that you would give to girls that are doing this? I'm actually doing my Gold Award right now.
Oh, you are.
So, what are if you were talking to me, what's some
Yeah.
advice you would give to someone who's doing it?
It is a lot, definitely. The interviews, trying to make sure that it gets approved, and then everything. Doing the actual project, it is a lot. So I just recommend just being patient and having fun with it.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Hi, I'm Nina. I'm from Troop 1728, and I've been in Girl Scouts for 13 years.
So what was your gold award?
I did a lot of education on type 1 diabetes, since a lot of people aren't really aware of what it is, and being informed not only creates more of a safe space, but can help people who have the disease and just keep them healthy.
That's amazing. So what made you passionate or inspired you?
Well, I was diagnosed with diabetes almost 4 years ago now, and as being introduced into the community, I kind of realized how little education there is on it and how little people know about it unless they actually have met someone. And sometimes it can get a little irritating when people expect one thing and it's completely different.
So how did you feel through this process?
It was interesting. The beginning was a bit of a rough start, but I really enjoyed all of it. It was a lot of fun, and I got to help so many people, which was amazing. My favorite part.
That's great. So what was the biggest challenge or the number one thing you learned?
The biggest challenge was probably getting people to work with me. I originally was looking to do something else, and because I couldn't get people to work with me, I had to kind of change my direction a little. But I still was able to make an impact, which was all I was looking to do.
Amazing, yeah. So what would you tell younger girls about the process or even just to inspire them?
I would say if you have an idea, go for it. There's nothing that's impossible, and if you hit a bump in the road, you can always try something else or rearrange things, Keep doing what you want.
Great. And how does it feel to have earned this award?
I mean, it's amazing. We've made such a difference. It's awesome.
Awesome. So any other last words or advice?
Just go for it.
Awesome. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you.
Rihanna.
Okay,
And I'm Janine.
Okay, and what were your Gold Awards?
I built a tile work for the. Sorry. I built tile work for Our Lady of Constellation in West Exwood.
Okay.
And in Northport at Lewis Oliver Farm Preserve, I built a pergola that goes over and provides shade for a memorial bench.
Okay, so what were your inspirations for doing this?
You want to go first? So I
You
did
can go
this
first,
as a
but I'm-
memory of my late mother because she actually worked at the Constellation, and I just decided to do it for her. My inspiration was and veterans, and the veterans that also were there as well.
Right,
And
okay.
my inspiration was my Aunt Laura has a friend who runs the farm,
Uh-huh.
and they wanted help with everything. Obviously, they were already taking care of the animals.
Right.
They have this little area that has like a little play set for kids and some park and like little picnic areas. They have a bench, but no one really goes to it because of how sunny it was. So I wanted to help out with that.
Okay. Okay, cool. So how would you say, since I'm doing my Gold Award actually right now.
Oh, really?
So
I wish
what
you the best of luck. I wish you luck.
So what would you say, what's some inspiration that you would give girls that were doing it? You go first.
Do not give up.
Don't give
my
up
gosh.
and work really hard to achieve your dreams.
It is going to be extremely hard at some point, but you have to keep pushing through it because it will be worth it in the end.
Do you have anything else to add?
I'd say work hard. You have people that can help you,
Right.
and do your best.
Got it.
You
Okay.
have those around you to support you, and they will always be there if you need them.
All right, so you want to restate your name again?
I'm Janine,
Okay.
and I'm Brianna.
So what's your name?
Alyssa.
Okay, and what was your Gold Award?
Church workforce.
Okay, and what would you say your inspiration or, why did you want to do this?
I wanted to give back to the community. I am a part of the Smithtown Presbyterian Church, and I'm a junior deacon. And I decided that enough is enough, and the building should be repaired. So I repaired most of the rooms, you know, just keeping up with the intake. And just weeding and repainting the sides of the church, you know, the normal upkeep.
Yeah. So what would you say, some hardships or, some obstacles that occurred in your Golden Word? Like, what would you say those were?
I would say definitely COVID. The pandemic really did affect me. I was actually going to start working in the cemetery and do some couple things there. But COVID really brought things down. But I decided to go with the thing that I know most, my church service.
So you did, the church because it was really, near and dear to you. So do you think that doing, something that, really affects you or as prostitute would help you, in someone's Golden Word that's doing it?
Personally, I would say just go for it. Just believe in yourself. Communicate with your parents a lot. Communicate with loved ones. And I would definitely have to dedicate this to my father and my grandmother. They both helped me, and I couldn't have done it without them.
Oh, that's so sweet. All right, it was so nice talking to you. Yes. Thank you so much. So what's your name?
My name is Jasmine Simpson.
Okay, and what was your Golden Word about?
I built birdhouses at Sunken Meadows State Park.
Okay, and why did you decide to do that?
I did it because I ran cross country there all of high school, and I noticed when we were driving in, the boxes were like, they weren't like as nice as they could have been, so I basically rebuilt them. So the birds have like nicer boxes to stay in, because the ones there were kind of like falling apart.
I'm actually doing my Golden Word right now. So how did you go about doing it? How did you get supplies?
No, it's okay. When I first started, I reached out to the park, and then I talked to someone from there. And to get the supplies, I just needed wooden nails.
Okay.
So I went to Home Depot and I got donations from a bunch of different stores, and that gave me all the supplies I needed.
Okay.
And then to build them, I had my brother's Boy Scout troop help, and we had this day at my house where we all just built a bunch of boxes. Yeah.
Okay, so what are your names?
I'm Abby.
Okay.
I'm Brianna.
Okay, and what were your Golden Words?
I worked with the Guide Dog Foundation to create puppy toys for new puppies, and I also had a drive to have toiletries and other needed items for new guide dog owners.
And I worked with Little Flower at the ICF to make a memorial garden for the residents that lost their lives due to COVID.
So, what were your inspirations for doing your project?
I was inspired because I love animals, and I've already figured out for my silver and bronze board how to help people, but I wanted to help animals help people, so that was one of my big inspirations for my board.
And for me, my mom works at Little Flower, so when I was hearing that her residents were passing away, I wanted to do something to memorialize them due to COVID, because a lot of things weren't happening. So I wanted to give them the right respect that they deserve.
So what would you say some obstacles that you faced during your process of doing your Golden Word, and how did you overcome them for girls that were that are about to do it?
So one of the obstacles I faced was getting with COVID was trying to get in touch with everyone and letting them in their facilities and running the supply drive in the pet shop that I did. So one thing that I would say is just continue to reach out to people and be very open and listen to what they want to do and follow their guidelines. Just be open about that.
I agree. I faced some similar challenges because it was during COVID as well, with trying to get dates of when I was allowed on campus, because it is a gated campus. When I was allowed in, when I wasn't, when there was going to be transfers, when there's going to be a lot of people there. So for me, it was really just keep in contact with whoever your superior is in a way, or supervisor, or who your mentor is. And just keep in touch with them. And everything was great.
Hi, my name is Olivia Ranieri, and I am a Girl Scout, and I've been a Girl Scout since kindergarten.
So what was your Golden Word?
I created a sensory lending library for the individuals with different abilities inside my community. It's just a resource now that the community can use, because therapy toys are so expensive that the community can rent and borrow them, especially students who have OT or PT needs. We really wanted to try to base it out of that, because again, the toys are so expensive, you grow out of them and then you have to buy new ones. And these were $70, $80. They're pricey. And so I wanted to make a change in that area, because I was an OT and PT myself, And I noticed that because I had the opportunity to afford those therapy toys, I was able to get out of those things quicker.
That's great. And how did you feel through this entire process?
It was overwhelming, and it's a very, like, when you're doing it, it is one of those things where you're like, okay, I mean, there's so many rules, and sometimes it can feel like you can't do it, and there's no possible, like, way, and, like, there's no way you can complete it in time or do any of that, but it is so rewarding.
So what's the biggest challenge or the number one thing you learned?
I think the biggest challenge is, like, trying to find what you're passionate about, because, like, you can do any award, but, like, what really made it so almost easier, or, like, not easy because it's no way easy, was the fact that I had a passion for what I was doing, and I wanted to impact, I wanted to do something, and I had motive, and it was something that, again, I was passionate about.
That's great. And what would you tell younger girls? Advice or even just about the process?
Okay, so my biggest piece of advice is a lot of people tell us that we can't change the world, and we totally can. By picking up a piece of trash on the side of the road, you're changing the world. And by doing your Gold Award, you're changing your community and you're impacting the world in a positive way. And so whenever someone says that you cannot change the world, tell them you can.
So how did you feel once you earned this award?
Oh, it's like the biggest, like, breath of, like, fresh air. It's almost like you're, like, you know, like when you're in, like, a chlorine water and then you take a shower after. That's kind of how it felt. Like, I was like, oh my god, I'm done. There's nothing else I have to do.
So did you have any other words or advice?
Again, remember that you have the power to change the world, and you can make a difference in your community, and that can go on and have, like, the domino effect. Think about, like, that Starbucks trend of all the people, like, passing it along. By you creating a difference in someone else's life, they're hopefully going to feel passionate enough to do something for someone else, and that can have a domino effect. And then the world will be such a great place.
Thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you.
Girl Scouts of Suffolk County is thrilled to be here tonight to honor 55 young women who have achieved the highest award in Girl Scouting, the Girl Scout Gold Award. Each of the young women have worked on a project through their high school years and have achieved this amazing award that provides them with skills and an experience that they will take with them through their careers for the rest of their lives. But being able to come back together in person, to have that applause heard, to have each young woman come up and have her award presented to her individually, it is a very special moment for us to be able to get back to this type of celebration.
Any inspiring words that you can give any of their Gold Award achievement Girl Scouts?
The girls who won tonight should just be so, I don't need to inspire them, they inspire me. They should be so proud of the work that they did. They've each picked a project that has spoken to issues that are affecting all of us in the community, and they have made a difference, not just for their families or their friends, but for the entire community around them, and they should be so incredibly proud of the work they've done.
Girl Scouts have been thriving for more than 110 years, and especially here in Suffolk County, the great thing about Girl Scouts is that they're all about community. And the Gold Award is about establishing a project that will be sustainable within your community and beyond. We have amazing volunteers, and we're so thankful to them because they really do help our girls explore all areas of interest for their lives now and their future lives beyond. These girls are extraordinary in what they have done and what they chose to do, because the Girl Scout Gold Award is something that you have to earn. You have to work towards it, and you really have to be dedicated to want to make a difference. It's something that you want to do to really make an impact and make a difference. And all the girls here who were honored tonight have really done that within our council.
What an impressive bunch of young women. You know, such an honor to be here, to be in the presence of the future women leaders of this community, of this county. I had the opportunity to have some conversations with a couple of them and to connect with them in their leadership that is growing right now, and to be able to connect what they do for the community with what we do for the community at Peconic Bay Medical Center. It just came together so beautifully.